Hey friends, welcome to Mindful X 365. I'm Justin McBride, and this is the daily series where we consider quotes, concepts, and contradictions that can support us on our journey of experiencing life mindfully. Today's consideration: how many tabs is too many, and how many windows create chaos? Before we get into today's consideration, I'm going to take a few quick intentional breaths. That way I can make sure that I'm centered and fully present for this consideration. And begin by breathing in for 5 seconds and then hold it for a moment. And then I'll let it out over 5 seconds, pausing in between each intentional breath. Breath in. And out. Breath in. And out. One more on your own. Today's consideration again: how many tabs is too many, and how many windows create chaos? When it comes to tabs and windows on your computer screen, on your internet browsers, whichever you use, almost all of them now have tabs and multiple windows that you can utilize. And if you're anything like me, sometimes it gets a little out of hand, right? We have 10 tabs open and we're like, okay, well, I don't want to close them yet because I'm working on them. I need to come back to it, right? Need to come back to it. And then you got 15 tabs. And then sometimes maybe you open multiple windows because it's just a little too much. And you're like, I'm going to be organized. I'm going to have a window for professional, a window for personal. And then sometimes maybe there's a couple windows for personal and a couple windows for professional. And it gets a little out of hand. Like the tabs and windows of an internet browser are also the thoughts and ideas that bounce around inside our brain. How many is too many? How many categories gets out of hand? I can't say for sure. I can't say for sure for me, let alone for you. And I would never even begin to try. Um, the only, I guess, caveat to that would be the amount that is appropriate is the amount that's appropriate. Anything beyond that would be too many. And what is appropriate at what time and for who, it's going to vary, right? And that's okay. It starts with being aware of what is bouncing around inside our brain, the thoughts that pop up, the ideas that start to grow. None of them are necessarily bad or good just because they are in our brain at a certain time, when maybe we didn't intend for them to be there. Doesn't mean it's bad. And it doesn't mean it's good when we have certain ideas in our brain. It simply means they're there. Mindfulness, as we define it here at Mindful X, is non judgmental awareness of internal and external factors. By being aware of what's bouncing around inside our head, then we can decide what is appropriate in that moment. On the internet browsers, you have the opportunities to create bookmarks, and you can manage your bookmarks with different folders and create categories for maybe different projects that you have going on. Some projects might be things that are more immediate that you're working on, like the leak in the roof and monsoon season's coming for those of you in the desert, or hurricane season for those of you in other parts of the world. Maybe it is something a little bit more distant or less time sensitive, like, oh, I want to redo my backyard and maybe re landscape a certain part of my front yard. So you have another bookmark section for those types of things. When it comes to the thoughts and ideas in our brains, we can treat them the same way. We can provide some kind of a note or a label for them. And as we go throughout our day, being aware of when those ideas and those thoughts start to bounce around before they get out of hand, just practice a little bit of mental noting. You can say something as simple as planning Or if you want to get more specific, you can say landscaping idea. Or if it's something professional, you can label it with that project. And then check in with yourself, is that where you want to be in that present moment, where you intend to be in that present moment? If the idea of mental noting or labeling is something that interests you, or even if this is something you're already doing and it's working for you, I would love to hear from you, because this is something I want to learn a little bit more about myself. I've dabbled in it in my own ways, but I would love to hear another perspective. I'm sure a lot of other people would too. So head on over to www.mindfulx.net. That's our MindfulX community online. It's totally free to sign up, free from advertisements. It's just a place for people to share ideas and to read about different tips and techniques that can support them on their journey of experiencing life mindfully. Again, that's www.mindfulx.net. Thanks for stopping by for today's consideration. Again, I'm Justin McBride, and remember, mindfulness is only a few intentional breaths away. If you like, join me right now for a little intentional breathing. I'll go ahead and get things started, and then you're welcome to continue on as long as you like. I'm going to start again by closing my eyes, doing a quick check-in with my body, starting with my neck, kind of turning it from side to side, moving down to my shoulders, making sure my head is placed above my shoulders. And if you're sitting or standing, perhaps you're lying down, whatever position you're in, make sure your head is above or in line with your body as if you were sitting upright. And then work all the way down, just kind of moving your body slightly through your torso, down through your thighs and your knees. Maybe flexing your muscles a little bit as you focus on each area. All the way down through your ankles and your toes. And now bringing your focus back to your breath. We're going to take a breath in together. I'll count to 5, and then we'll pause for a moment before exhaling, and pause for another moment before starting our next intentional breath. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold. Release, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. Breath in. And out. Now on your own,